Hello, Hidden Gems. How is everyone doing today? It's been a big day for those of you that follow the Emmanuel Haro case. You know that I just put out a video with an update on that. In addition, I caught up with day 4 of the Donna Adelson trial because I am going to continue bringing you nightly, daily updates of everything that happens in court because it is hard to listen sometimes to every day of trial with all the sidebars and the breaks. So, right here at Hidden True Crime, hit subscribe, hit notifications, and like this video if you appreciate these updates and these daily recaps because it helps us get into the algorithm and it just helps us to know we're on the right track, that this is something you appreciate. And we will continue bringing these daily updates of this trial. So again, day 4 of the Donna Adelson trial continued where yesterday left off. Donna, the family matriarch, is accused of plotting the murder of her former son-in-law, Dan Markell. And the testimony is slowly untangling the complicated web of conspiracy. For those that are new to this case, I have an entire backstory and it is pinned in the comments as well as the chat. Sergeant Corbett returned to the stand as the prosecution continued their direct examination, walking the jury through a detailed trail of cell records, tower hits, and phone data that tie the Adelson family's communications to the day Dan Markell was killed. Prosecutor Sarah Dugan focused on June 14th, presenting evidence that places Catherine near a Comfort rent-a-car location at the same time Sigfredo rented a silver Nissan Altima. Phone records and rental logs tie the June 2014 trip directly to Sigfredo and Luis, while Sigfredo picked up the rental in Miami. Catherine's phone pings confirm her presence at the rental location on June 2nd. Hours later, Sigfredo receives a traffic citation in the rental, which logs him into law enforcement systems and officially links him to the vehicle. By the following day, records show Sigfredo swapped the silver Nissan for a blue Hyundai Santana. Cell site data and GPS records further tied Sigfredo and Luis to the events leading up to Dan's murder as well. And both Sigfredo's phone and the Hyundai Sonata's GPS show them near Winthrop Park, just a short distance from Dan's street, confirming that they scouted out the area in the days before the fatal July trip. Surveillance footage also matched the data, showing the team keeping watch on Dan in advance of the planned attack. On the evening of June 2nd, 2014 at 9:43 p.m., Catherine ended a 25-minute call with Charlie, And within a minute, Charlie called the Adelson family landline, staying on the phone for another 25 minutes. Out of 1,378 communications between Charlie and his parents, out of all of those, only 28 calls were ever made to that landline, making this call pattern notable. Jurors were shown a series of emails and texts from 2013 to 2014 that demonstrated the relentless pressure and coordination behind the conspiracy. Donna had emailed Wendy, calling relocation non-negotiable, and referred to Dan as a, quote, royal jackass, while text to Charlie revealed her venting over stress affecting Harvey's blood pressure. On June 2nd, the call chain began at, forgive me. So just have a bit of a cough. So we were talking about Harvey's blood pressure. And then on June 2nd, the call chain began at 8:57 p.m. with Charlie calling Catherine near the Comfort rental, followed by a 9:17 p.m. call when Catherine left and contacted Charlie again. At 9:43 p.m., Charlie called the Adelson family landline for 25 minutes, then exchanged calls with Harvey between 10:16 and 10:27 p.m. And this chain maps the conspiracy in real time. Sigfredo rents the car, Catherine contacts Charlie. Charlie loops in his parents, and Harvey joins in. And by June 4th, Luis's phone and the GPS from the Hyundai Sonata show him near Winthrop Park again, across from Dan Markel's street. Surveillance footage aligns with his 2016 confession that he was casing Dan prior to the murder. And over June 4th through 5th, his phone shows him traveling back south. And by 12:47 a.m. on June 6th, his phone is back in Miami. The timeline of travel confirms that Sigfredo and Luis did not linger in Tallahassee, which supports the prosecution's case that the trip was tightly planned. It was tightly executed. And their plot, what they executed and planned was to murder Dan Markel. During the June trip, call patterns revealed a clear structure of communication among the conspirators. Donna frequently called Charlie, who in turn maintained constant contact with Catherine. Catherine then relayed active updates to Sigfredo, while Luis only stayed in the loop through Sigfredo. And this pattern mirrors a, quote, hub and spoke model of conspiracy. Donna applying family pressure at the top, Charlie serving as the hub, Catherine as the link, and Sigfredo and Luis functioning as the outer spokes. Dugan also highlighted the use of coded language, focusing on a message sent June 7th, the day after Sigfredo and Luis returned from Tallahassee without completing the mission. Charlie texted Donna that he was, quote, still working on Dad's birthday present, to which Donna replied she knew it was, a, quote, tough beat, end quote. That's the same phrase that had appeared months earlier when Donna instructed Charlie to erase this text. Remember that? We went over that yesterday, suggesting deliberate secrecy. The state argues that Dad's birthday present was code for murder, and its repeated use after the surveillance strips strengthens the theory that Donna was actively tracking progress rather than merely talking about a gift for Harvey's birthday. And on July 3rd, Donna sent Evite invitations for Harvey's July 5th birthday party. Notably, Wendy and her children were listed under the name Adelson, not Markel, even though Dan Markel was still alive. Donna wasn't just the host. She handled the invitations, organized the event, and served as the main contact. The party took place just 2 weeks before Dan's murder. The following morning, July 6th, Wendy texted Dan asking, quote, are you in Tallahassee, July 14th through 18th? Can I have the kids on the 16th? End quote. And then Dan Markel replied, yes. But wait for it. Those dates aligned precisely with the killer's July rental and Dan's eventual murder on July 18th. And what makes this text from Donna to Dan asking if he's around and if she can have the kids, what makes this more suspicious is that custody schedule emails show that Wendy already had July 16th reserved under a standing order, making this ask completely unnecessary by Donna. Dugan framed this communication as another form of surveillance meant to confirm whether Dan would be in town when the killers returned. Would he be there when the killers returned? Will this be a tightly executed and planned trip? And on July 11th, Donna emailed Wendy about the Best Buy Geek Squad TV repair, telling her that if she couldn't keep the July 18th 8 a.m. to noon appointment, she should reschedule. And on July 14th, text messages show Charlie and Catherine arranging a late night meeting. And by 9:27 p.m., Charlie's phone pinged near Catherine's residence, and hours later, she called Sigfredo. The communication chain demonstrates the conspiracy in motion on the eve of the Prius rental. Then on July 15th, Sigfredo first contacts Comfort Rental before switching to another company called Safe Gas, where Luis rents the Prius at 6:15 p.m., the vehicle that would become the murder car. Notably, Sigfredo doesn't conceal Luis's name on the rental. Right after the Prius rental, on July 15th, Catherine and Charlie spoke for about 10 minutes at 6:36 p.m. And shortly after, Charlie called his parents' landline for 22 minutes at 7:30 p.m. and again for 11 minutes at 7:54 p.m. Harvey's own cell records indicate he wasn't home during those calls, during one of those calls, only one of those calls, suggesting Charlie was likely speaking directly with Donna. By July 16th through 17th, Sigfredo and Luis traveled from Miami in the Prius, the murder car, with cell site and GPS data showing them in Tallahassee early on July 17th, consistent with the same stakeout pattern near Trescott Drive in June. And the night before the murder, Charlie called Donna twice at 10:18 and at 10:29 p.m., followed by a string of late-night calls between Sigfredo and Catherine and Charlie and Catherine at 12:34 a.m. and 1:03 a.m. Charlie then called Donna again at 1:02 a.m., keeping the conspiracy chain alive and well. On the morning of July 18th, Donna sent Wendy a text confirming that the Geek Squad crew was on their way to repair the TV, which the state believes is a cover for the planned attack. Wendy and Dan exchanged messages around 9:04 a.m. and argued over pickup times for the kids. And by then, Sigfredo and Luis were already following Dad. At 9:19 a.m., Wendy spoke with Charlie for 18 minutes. And shortly after, she softened her tone with Dan, allowing him to keep the boys until 4:30 p.m. How kind of her. And within the hour, though, Dan was shot in his garage. Later that day, Wendy stopped at ABC Liquor at 12:49 p.m., bypassing closer stores and attempting to drive past the crime scene. Even though she saw police tape on Trescott, she did not call Dan to make sure everything was okay. That evening, Sigfredo and Luis were back in Miami, and around 9:42 p.m., Catherine's phone pinged at Luis's home after dropping her children off at a friend's place. Dugan highlighted a clear pattern that I think we're all seeing clearly as well. Car rental, coordinated landline calls, the murder itself, and the post-murder cash meeting. On the night of July 18th, Catherine's phone pinged near Luis's residence at 9:46 p.m., consistent with Sigfredo also being present. Her communication with Sigfredo stopped once she arrived, suggesting she joined them inside. At 10:12 p.m., Catherine called Charlie with her last cell record in Sigfredo's area, aligning with a 10:20 p.m. call. Dugan used these overlapping records to show Catherine relaying information from the hitman while keeping Charlie informed. Earlier landline calls in the plot add further weight, as they were rare and precisely timed with the vehicle rentals and other movements. Texts from Charlie's iCloud also provided context for the night of the murder. At 8:22 p.m., Catherine asked, quote, "You still at work?" Charlie replied, "Just finishing, not really feeling good. Maybe we can hang out at my house," end quote. And on July 18th, at 7:04 p.m., Wendy called Donna from the Tallahassee Police Department to report that Dan had been shot. Within minutes, Donna texted Charlie saying, "Call us ASAP." By 8 p.m., Donna and Harvey were on the move, leaving South Beach. Cell records traced their travel, and at 8:59 p.m., Donna texted Charlie, "Outside your house." This text places Donna directly at Charlie's home the night of the murder. The cell data suggests she could have spent 30 to 60 minutes there. Charlie replied about 20 minutes later with 10 minutes and cell tower. Excuse me. Let me grab a drink. How's everyone doing? Luckily, tonight's a bit faster. Hour and a half episode yesterday on this. This one, luckily, it will not be as long. I know a lot of you are on the East Coast too, listening to this. I know it's later there. So Charlie replied about 20 minutes later with the 10-minute text, and cell tower data confirms he arrived home around 9:40 p.m., overlapping with Donna for an estimated half hour. On the night of July 18th, Charlie checked in with Donna at 11:56 p.m., texting, "Did you get to your hotel okay? Love you." Donna replied with her Hilton Inn travel details. Sergeant Corbett reconstructed Donna's July 18th route from North Miami to the 10 5:53 p.m. tower hit in July 2024. His drive took about 1 hour and 4 minutes, while Donna's phone records showed 2 hours and 21 minutes, a discrepancy of 77 minutes. And that missing hour aligns with her estimated time at Charlie's home after the murder. Corbett confirmed his timing with Department of Transportation mapping software, supporting the state's narrative that Donna wasn't just delayed by traffic, she had a significant amount of unaccounted time. The morning after, on July 19th, Catherine's phone pinged south from Charlie's house at 9:44 a.m. She immediately tried to reach Sigfredo, but his phone was dead and never reconnected, a move consistent with post-crime cleanup. Between 9:47 and 10:20 a.m., a flurry of missed calls occurred. Sigfredo never responded, but by 10:31 a.m., both Catherine and Sigfredo's phones pinged at his house. Luis later stated he located Sigfredo at a girl's house and brought him back. These failed attempts to contact Sigfredo helped build the state's timeline, with his phone being off the grid while others remained active. Yeah, that's definitely always sus. And by 2016, law enforcement moved from historical data to real-time monitoring through a wiretap authorized by a judge. Calls from Charlie and Catherine's phones were mirrored to law enforcement servers, capturing live numbers, tower hits, and audio. Agents muted mundane conversation while trying to decipher coded talk. On the wire, Charlie claimed he didn't know Sigfredo's nickname was Tuto, but iCloud texts with Catherine proved he had actually typed out that nickname, referring to Sigfredo before. So, nice try. On April 19th, 2016, an undercover agent made contact with Donna on the street in what the state calls the bump. And within 20 minutes, Donna's first call wasn't to Wendy or Harvey, it was to Charlie, giving the jury a clear view, once again, of who she turned to under pressure, Charlie. Fast forward to November 15th, 2023. Donna is arrested. Forensic evidence shows she and Wendy exchanged texts discussing Charlie's trial as it unfolded, which the state says that it shows that even years later, Donna remained entangled in the cover-up all the way up until 2023. And the defense, though, objected to the state referencing Charlie's testimony from his own trial. After a sidebar, court took a break for lunch. And while we take a break for lunch, I'm going to take a break for water. Let's stand by 1 second. Thanks, everyone. These are, as all of you know right here with me, these are recorded live. Hello, everyone. But for those that are on replay and we have these little breaks, if you don't like that and you want a smoother recording, if you don't like the whole like hanging out live with me taking water breaks, you can head to our podcast on Spotify and Apple, and we clean up the audio there. So it's a lot smoother for those that just like the smooth replay experience. Just a little tip. All right. Post-lunch, cross-examination begins with defense attorney Josh Zellman taking aim at Sergeant Corbett's testimony. Zellman pressed him on whether he had manually removed duplicate events from the data, and Corbett confirmed that duplicates exist, but said they were filtered out during review. Zellman then highlighted that his frequency reports are more like general snapshots than precise counts. Corbett agreed, explaining the reports show associations, but not exact call totals. Zellman also pushed him on mapping, pointing out that it involves estimation and inference, basically like guesswork. And Corbett acknowledged that was true, which could undermine the state's timeline. Another focus on this cross-examination was on duplicate records. So Corbett explained that one call can generate multiple entries. Zellman seized on this, arguing that the state had inflated contact counts. Corbett countered that while duplicates exist, they were spread evenly, and the totals weren't exact. Cross intensified as Zellman drilled into cell tower limitations. Multiple phones may connect to one tower. Calls can hand off between towers based on terrain, buildings, or network load. And reports don't prove Donna's intent. They only show the possibility of contact. Corbett agreed there are no guarantees. A phone doesn't always connect to the closest tower. Tower selection depends on signal strength, geography, and system demand. The defense zeroed in on gaps in the records. Corbett admitted that data can't reveal whether the tower was under maintenance or running at reduced capacity. And Zellman said, quote, "So your maps don't tell the whole story," end quote. Zellman also challenged Corbett's travel reconstructions, pointing out that they too were just estimates, and Corbett agreed, calling them approximations based on routing software, not GPS proof. So next, Zellman asked Corbett about the erase this text message, which was still stored in Charlie's iCloud. Corbett acknowledged that he could not say whether it had been deleted from Charlie's actual device. He also couldn't confirm who picked up the Adelson house phone. Zellman stressed that while records show a call occurred, they don't reveal who answered, where exactly inside the house it was picked up, or what was said. Zellman made clear that the defense wasn't disputing that calls happened. Instead, they reminded jurors that the records only prove contact, not what was said in the conversation. Timing was another focus. So on one side, both Wendy and Donna's phones showed an 8:09 a.m. call. Without more detailed records, Corbett admitted he couldn't determine who dialed first. They also challenged his test drive from July 2025. And Corbett conceded there were no records of 2014 traffic, nor accounting for possible gas or coffee stops, and no evidence that Donna's phone ever pinged alongside Charlie's that night. The defense asked if her phone never connected with his, how can the state place her at his house? Redirect focused on Donna's own words. Dugan pointed to Donna's text saying she was outside Charlie's house, while Charlie replied he was 10 minutes away. Corbett testified that the unaccounted for hour wasn't explained by traffic or construction. Donna herself placed her location at Charlie's with that message. He also confirmed that his 2025 test drive, done on a Friday night at the same time, matched his software's estimates. From 8:34 to Charlie's house, the timing was consistent, and from Charlie's to the 10:53 marker, the timing also lined up. On cell site reliability, Corbett addressed the defense's claims about variables. If towers had been overloaded or down, he explained, there would be no records at all, but in this case, records exist. Dugan emphasized that nothing in evidence suggests the analysis was unreliable. The redirect closed the loop. Cell site data may not be flawless, but it is consistent, paired with Donna's own outside the house text. They argued the evidence is clear. She did go to Charlie's the night of the murder. After that, the undercover FBI agent from the 2016 bump operation took the stand. The judge instructed jurors and the media that his face could not be shown because of his prior FBI work. His voice and audio may be broadcast, but not his image. The significance of the bump was underscored for the jury. It wasn't a random encounter. The FBI staged it to observe Donna's reaction under pressure. The state believes that her immediate call to Charlie directly ties her to the conspiracy to kill Dan Markel. The operation of the bump was then explained in detail. In 2016, the FBI agent posed as a gang member and was ordered to approach Donna on the street. He handed her a flyer with a news article about Dan's murder, and on it was a handwritten note saying, "Call and text," along with his undercover number, plus a demand for $5,000. Phone records later showed calls linking the agent to the Adelson Institute, Charlie to the undercover line, and Donna to the same number. The agent confirmed the encounter was recorded on both audio and video. On cross-examination, defense attorney Jackie Fulford pressed the agent about the sting. He admitted he was posing as a gang member, but said he acted friendly and polite. However, he agreed that Donna was startled. The flyer had $5,000 written on it, but he testified he never mentioned money during the bump. Instead, he told her, "Katie and Tuto are being taken care of, but not my brother Tato." And Tuto was a nickname that referred to Sigfredo, and Tato was Louise, who was in jail at the time. Fulford pointed out that Donna's immediate response was, quote, I don't know what you're talking about, end quote. The agent acknowledged that although the flyer referenced $5,000, Donna never made any payment. After the April 19, 2016 encounter, she did not follow up. On April 28th, the agent called the Adelson Institute and left a message, but there was no response. On May 4th, he sent a more aggressive text meant to sound like extortion. And finally, on May 6th, Donna returned the call. She told him, "You've got the wrong person. I'm not involved. Go collect from the people who are," end quote. She even suggested that he pursue the $10,000 reward fund connected to the case, not hush money. Okay, so redirect on the FBI agent was brief. He confirmed that when he bumped Donna on April 19th, 2016, she was alone. She did not have her children or grandchildren with her. Attorney Kappelman left it at that, underscoring that Donna wasn't startled or distracted by anyone else being present. Next, FBI Special Agent Louis Bronstein testified about his surveillance of Charlie and Catherine at Dolce Vita restaurant in Miami on April 20th, 2016. Sitting about 12 feet away, he used bagged equipment to capture video and audio of their meeting. Bronstein said the two were fully engaged with each other. The air conditioning turned on in the restaurant so he could get only small audio of a small snippet, but their body language showed intense focus. The surveillance recording was admitted into evidence as State's Exhibit 114. And next, James McElveen, a forensic audio expert, testified about enhancing the noisy Dolce Vita recordings. He explained that he used filtering to suppress background sounds like espresso machines, kitchen clatter, the AC, and children, while focusing on isolating the voices of Charlie and Catherine without altering their speech. The clarified audio exhibits were entered into evidence. On cross-examination, Zellman pressed McElveen on the limits of his work, and he admitted his more recent task wasn't a new enhancement, just syncing audio with video. He also confirmed he was never asked to review Wendy's July 18th, 2014 police interview, and specifically did not analyze the portion where Wendy called Donna after Dan's murder. Well, the state then called Brian Kendall, a former City of Plantation police officer. Here we go. How's everyone doing, by the way? Oh, good to see you, Monty. Hey, everyone. Thank you for being here. All right. One more drink. Then we'll get to the police officer. All right. Okay. Brian Kendall, a former City of Plantation police officer. So he testified that on April 21st, 2016, he went undercover to record Charlie and Harvey at a restaurant. And using a covert messenger bag with hidden audio and vehicle, Kendall sat right next to Harvey, acknowledging it was obvious and probably suspicious. The recording was admitted as State's Exhibit 131, and Kappelman had no further questions. That's it. And the last witness of the day was FBI Special Agent Patrick Sanford. With 26 years of experience, he became heavily involved in the Dan Markel case after an early colleague retired. Sanford recounted Luis Rivera's proffer, in which Luis said that Sigfredo accidentally fired a shot into the floorboard of the Prius before the murder. Years later, investigators tracked down the car, finding a patched gas line and bullet hole consistent with Luis's account. Luis also revealed a June 2014 trip to Tallahassee that acted as a dry run before the July killing, which was later confirmed. And in 2016, a wiretap on Charlie and Catherine captured over 10,000 calls and texts. Agent Sanford reviewed a disc containing the calls deemed relevant for trial. Can you imagine going through 10,000 calls and texts? Well, the wiretap evidence showed Donna heavily involved in her children's lives, from Wendy's canceled 2013 Tallahassee house purchase to her dating choices. On call number 989, Donna urged Charlie to manage Wendy's relationship with a man named Dave, discussing ways to keep her in it. Prosecutors presented this as proof of control that feeds into their motive theory. It's definitely controlling. Exhibit 85, the official wire call summary, was tied directly to the intercepted calls and texts. Jurors received headsets to hear call number 989 in full, where Donna and Charlie discussed Wendy's love life. Charlie mocked her choices, saying, "Why would I get serious with a 37-year-old economy model, high mileage?" End quote. Charlie talked about how Wendy shouldn't leave her new boyfriend Dave, comparing it to winning the lotto, and suggested she wouldn't get another chance. Donna listened attentively, strategizing Wendy's relationships through Charlie rather than just acting as a bystander. I mean, this is weird. Controlling, to say the least. And her role as a manager of Wendy's personal life is reinforced by the 2016 undercover FBI bump in Miami. After being handed the flyer, Donna calmly folded it up and slipped it into her purse, showing that she was not startled. The first call after the FBI bump occurred at 2:14 p.m. when Donna called Charlie. Quote, "Dad's at work. I have to give you something," end quote. And when asked for details, she said only, "To both of us." She never mentioned Dan or contacted police about the bump and what was handed to her and put in her purse. A follow-up call at 2:35 p.m. had Charlie and Donna debating whether the note was government or blackmail. Donna asked, "Should I bring cash?" Charlie replied, "Yeah, you should bring cash. I don't have much to bring." Later that afternoon, Donna called again. Charlie speculated that the bump was government or military. Both acknowledged that the threat was real, but still neither contacted law enforcement. Despite the threat being real, law enforcement wasn't in the equation. And around 3 p.m., Donna described the man who approached her, quote, "A young guy, a little guy," end quote. The exchange showed that Donna treated the bump as credible enough to report to Charlie, but still not credible enough to involve the police. Later, they discussed logistics. So, quote, "So I need to bring cash?" Charlie reiterated, "Yeah, you should bring cash. I don't have much cash to bring," end quote. So instead of rejecting the demand outright, they focused on handling it. And yes, their conversations do repeat a lot. It's like they're trying to talk about what to do without actually saying certain things out loud. The conversations, while repetitive, indicate Charlie and Donna's awareness that it could be a setup, but there was still no denial to pay the money and no police call. Code Talk also entered the recorder conversations, with Donna referring to the threat as a particularly bad Yelp review. That's what she said. And Kappelman stated that this euphemism was code for extortion. Donna said she had, quote, "a pretty good idea of who sent the letter." Charlie suggested that she send him a picture of the flyer, but Donna replied, "Not a good idea." So instead of contacting authorities, they focused on damage control. Donna insisted, "No talking on the phone." And minutes later, Charlie pressed again. Donna downplayed the bump, calling it blackmail and mentioning 5,000 and mentioning, quote, $5,000 fucking crazy, end quote. The state then played the tape of the undercover agent confronting Donna on May 6th. He said, quote, "I know about everybody. I know who's involved," end quote. Donna replied, quote, "You got the wrong person. I'm not involved," end quote. But she didn't stop there. She told the agent, "Go get the money. Go get the 100K," referring to the official reward for information on Dan's murder. She never agreed to pay and didn't directly incriminate herself, but acknowledged the scheme by directing the agent to collect the money elsewhere. Over the conversations, these code words only multiplied. Donna and Charlie referenced a TV worth about 5, Yeah, a TV worth about 5. Wonder what that means. And the state explained this was likely a coded reference to the $5,000 demand linking back to Charlie's prior joke about buying Wendy a TV instead of hiring a hitman. And during the call, Donna claimed the undercover agent referenced Charlie's ex girlfriend, but the agent had only said Katie and Tuto, end quote. So Charlie immediately called Catherine afterward. The day after the bump, Donna met Charlie behind her condo. They walked quietly, sat by the water, and whispered for about 30 minutes. An FBI surveillance attempted to record the meeting, but the tape was inaudible. Kappelman argued that references to the Yelp review and TV and ex-girlfriend were conscious code. Before the state could finish, the defense objected that prosecutor Kappelman was being cumulative, essentially reading calls aloud rather than asking new questions. And I will admit, things were very repetitive today. The judge noted the objection and decided to end court for the day, which leaves us a much shorter recap than yesterday's. But that's good because it's also later. And there was a lot going on today at Hidden True Crime with the Emmanuel Haro press conference and everything going on there. I'm going to admit I'm not too upset that today's recap was a little bit shorter than yesterday's massive recap. There you go. And we'll be back at this tomorrow evening. So again, if you appreciate these recaps and these trial recaps, please let us know in comments. Let us know by liking this video. Let us know by sharing with your friends what we're doing over here at Hidden True Crime on YouTube, as well as our podcast. I'm going to take a look. Oh, thank you so much, Bella. I really appreciate your super sticker. It means a lot. Also, for those that want to know, John and I plan tonight to record a Patreon episode, a Patreon only exclusive or Apple subscriber only episode about the tragedy that happened today in the United States. We had another tragic school shooting. And we like to discuss those things actually behind a paywall for our supporters because they are so tragic. They have been happening so often, and it just feels like a safer, better place to discuss that. And Dr. John has some things to say. My co-host and husband is a criminal psychologist, a forensic and clinical psychologist. So that will also be going on. So we plan to record that tonight. It'll either be up on Apple subscriptions and Patreon tonight or possibly tomorrow. Bear with us as I've taken on a lot, but it matters and it is worth it. And I so appreciate these lives as well, seeing everyone in the chats. I've appreciated doing these recaps live rather than pre-recorded because I get to see so many people in comments. So thank you, everyone. Allison, thank you so much. Been meaning to compliment the haircut. Looks great. Thank you. I appreciate it. You guys have been so nice about my haircut. Man, I wasn't too happy about this haircut. I'll be honest. My hair's thinning. It just felt like it was time. It wasn't healthy. And my hairdresser, Evan, even cut off more than I'd anticipated. And all of your kindness has meant so much. So thank you. I'm owning it now. I'm accepting it. I'm owning it. I'm happy that you guys all like it. All right. Anything else? Also, Lily. I know that Lily made an appearance yesterday, and then I had some bad allergies during our recap last night. And so Lily also got a haircut. In fact, Lily, come. I don't know if she's gonna come or not. Hold on. Here she comes. Lily, come. Maybe not. I couldn't get her to leave me alone last night while I was trying to finish the recap, and now, come here. But she looks adorable, so I just have to show you. Head of HR. Okay, thank you. Drop it. Drop it. So Lily, see? Yeah, there we go. There she go. Lily got a haircut too. So that I hopefully don't have any more allergies. So say hi to your audience. No? calm today? She had a walk today as well. All right, everyone. Thank you for being here. Thank you for everyone. We will continue covering and this Adelson case, Donna Adelson trial, as well as the Emmanuel Haro updates. So tragic, as well as what happened today in the United States. So good night, everyone. So good to see you. And who am I going to see at CrimeCon, by the way? I will not have a booth, but I will be there. And we are going to have little pins to give away that say Hidden True Crime or Are You Done? As well as Aunt Vicky. I should have mentioned this too. Aunt Vicky, who is Tammy Daybell's aunt and a friend of the program. She has a flower shop in Orem, Utah, Bloom and Bramble. And many know that followed the Lori and Chad Daybell case and that trial, that she wanted a fly swatter to be able to, swat Lori every time she said that. Just okay. Well, we're going to have fly swatters as well. So come find me at CrimeCon for little pins and fly swatters. So there you go. I think I've covered everything right now. So, all right, everyone. Thank you. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, everyone. Good night. And thank you, Monty. I so appreciate that. Oh, I'm so glad. Yes. Are you done, pins? All right. We'll see you guys. Have a good night. Bye. See you tomorrow.